I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Glow.
I'm Kyle.
And we're the fucking Morning Throners.
And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Game of Thrones podcast. We're the Morning Throners. We're talking Cat 10, baby.
Nice. Yep.
Huge chapter here, boys.
Dope scene.
The Whispering Woods.
Cooler scene in the book or show, Nelson?
Definitely book.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely book.
I mean, the show.
That's all we'll say.
shows
That's
more
all
of
we'll
the
say
battle,
about that.
though.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys have any idea how this actual battle went down?
Yeah, I think I have a much better picture this time around. And I saw a little bit of your map, so it kind of put it together. But just paying a little bit more attention to the details of what they're saying. Because it kind of bounces back and forth from Kat's conversation to what's actually going on. So it could be a little bit confusing. But I definitely kind of – I got like a whole picture in my mind right now.
Give like a paragraph summary, Kyle, of like how this battle happened. Maybe a one sentence summary. What happens in this battle?
Well, I mean, the end they get Jamie.
Okay, yeah, but like, what's the just overall?
One sentence.
Yeah,
you said one sentence.
That was like
Jeff. Overall result of the battle.
Fuck me, huh?
Overall result of the battle.
Jamie falls into a trap where they get him in this like cylindrical dome and they come at him from all sides.
That's a run-on sentence. Glow, you're up.
That was one sentence. I could write it out.
They
Glow,
surrounded him by the creek throughout the Whispering Woods on all sides.
Sure, I was just looking
They
for like the Stark's ambush.
they
the
ambushed
Lannisters.
him, yeah.
That's exactly what I said by also
you
saying
said it in like the longest winded out of
You said
everybody.
they
it
got him in a
cylindrical
trap and they
tube or
got him from all sides. What the fuck are you talking about?
no, I didn't know.
Yeah, they ambush him. So that's like basically. Anytime
There's no
I've read this
ambush
book-
if they didn't put him into the
In a
trap.
cylinder.
Though.
I'm not saying everyone was right. Everyone was right. We'll get into it later. I was just trying to get to the point that they ambushed him. That's basically all I got out of this chapter. And I've read this chapter at least 5 times before, and I've never really got more out of it than ambush, Jamie gets captured. I don't think more is important.
More is
that,
definitely
right? Like,
important.
it's cool to think about, but I don't know how much.
All he
it's
had to
important.
do was
But
stay. If he stayed near the castle, right at the siege, and didn't follow Brighton, this doesn't happen.
No, you're right. I'm saying like what happens in this battle is important. What the result of the battle is important. But I'm saying like we don't need to know where the troops are positioned. And, what I'm going to show everyone in this map isn't going to like.
Cool,
make
man.
it,
You got to
like,
fill it
things
out a
click
little
in your
bit.
head, but it's going to be cool. Yeah, for sure. And I definitely think it's cool. That's why I did it. But I don't think it like anything's going to be like, oh shit, now I realize because you saw these maps or because you realize how the people are actually lined out. It's just like cool that Rob is like thinking about shit like an actual. It's cool to me that George R. R. Martin makes like the battles make sense and stuff, like the one that we looked at last chapter and then this one.
Yeah. Hundo pay.
All right, so where we start on this one, Kyle?
We start on a walk at night. They're slowly walking south, right?
Yep.
It's Kat and Rob and everybody. And just kind of like it's tense. I mean, you can tell the mood is tense, and there's a lot.
Well, everyone's quiet too.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're just kind of whispering to each other, like it's gonna happen, but like they were sure that they were waiting for Rob. Nobody actually knew that he was coming, but they knew who Jamie. That's what I'm trying to say. They were waiting for Jamie. Nobody was for sure that he was leaving, but they know how brash and arrogant he is, and that he wasn't gonna just lay around. And so they kind of assumed he was going to head up this way, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they
pulled
they get
him.
into it a little
They
bit
pulled
later.
him to come.
Exactly, they get into it a little bit later. Let me see. I think I have the quote.
It's Brighton says it, or
Brendan.
it's Brighton and Rob.
Brendan.
How do we say
Yeah,
it?
they're talking.
Brendan.
Brighton is such a cooler name, and I think I've said that so many times. Brendan sucks. Brighton, awesome.
Yeah, but it's like Brynden
Brendan.
because there's an N there.
Brendan.
How are you guys saying it? We're not saying Bryden.
I'm saying Brendan.
I thought it was Brighton.
There's an N after the Y.
Brendan
though,
is
I
better.
think.
Brendan,
Yeah.
Brendan.
It's a silent. It's a Game of Thrones name.
It's Brendan Blackfish sounds better than Bryden Blackfish. It's definitely Brendan.
I
Brendan.
like Brighton.
Brendan sounds like
Brendan.
some
I think
white
it's
trash
Brendan.
asshole that you got to take the dirt bike
If you have an opinion on his name, leave it in the chat.
Anyway, before the battle, he tells Rob that Jamie isn't the type to sit by while his people build like siege machines and shit like that. He said he's already ridden out after attackers several times, like people that are like
raiding.
I don't even know what you call that, raiding their camps. Oh, the other thing is because River Run is on these two rivers,
their siege is
they need
split up into
they need
three
the
different parts.
Hold, like Glow said, they need to hold each 3 spot, or they really don't have any of the spots.
Yep.
What you guys just said, because of these rivers, Jaime has what? I think they say 12,000 men later on in the chapter. But because of that, he has to split all of them.
Which doesn't really make sense to me. It looks like there's a lot of land between River Run and the Tumblestone. Like, did Jaime really need to be on that side? And aren't these rivers really strong that it's hard to cross right there?
What do you mean?
At this part, it's probably not as strong.
I'm pretty sure, maybe this map doesn't show it well, and maybe we'll get it later, but I'm pretty sure 2 of these triangle walls are up against water.
Okay. That would make sense. So you got to build a siege over the river.
I don't think there's land there, and I think there's bridges over 2 of them. The point here is kind of what Jeff was saying. He commands Rob, after Brennan tells him this, Rob commands him to take only a few hundred men, and go raid Jaime at River Run. And basically they're banking on Jaime himself is going to be the one to follow here. Right?
Yep.
Like, that's the point of this, is like the whole goal is to capture or kill Jaime, right? It's not actually like to weaken their army at all. It doesn't seem to be, to me, to weaken their army at all.
No, I agree with that. I mean, they're weakening the army by taking Jaime. That's basically their plan.
The other thing, I don't think they ever say in the chapter, I wonder how many people, they don't say how many people they took down to raid Jaime, and they don't say how many people Jaime responded with.
You said it was 100.
But they say a few hundred. They said a few. Rob tells Brendan not to take more than a few hundred, but we don't actually find out what he ever did. Oh, there's one other thing that Rob tells Brendan when he says go attack Jaime. What's that? Very important for the ambush.
Oh, show the Tully banners.
Only use Tully banners. Don't.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
What's the importance of that?
Because he thinks that the whole Stark army is on the other side going down to meet his papa.
He wants Jaime to think this is just like a few. There's no army here. Like, Jaime just thinks this is like maybe like 100 people that came to raid him, just like that's been happening for however. So when he's met with 6,000 men, it's just like a fuck, just like right in his face. So they're walking. The start of this chapter, we got into a little bit of the battle, but the start of the chapter, they're walking up. Oh, and on the map, it should be on the screen right now. Again, there's no like real fucking exactly where the Whispering Wood is. There's a stream. There's no streams north of River Run on this map, so I just pick a spot. It's pretty close to River Run because I just think it's pretty close to River Run because how far is Jaime going? It's not like
one night ride.
Yeah. Kat's up on this ridge, and she has. I think that one of the first things they talk about is she has this like body honor guard protecting her.
Yeah, she has 30 men.
30 people.
Who's leading it?
Hallis Mullen.
Hallis Mullen. What's
I'm
something
so
about
smart.
Hallis?
He's the new
Master at Arms.
Castleton. Master at Arms.
Yeah. What's like his like trait?
He's a pussy.
He's states the obvious.
Oh, he states the obvious.
Right. Cat like no,
he says
Cat,
things
like,
that
mentions that he states the obvious.
Yeah.
And one point when like example when Jaime comes up and they throw Jaime, he's like the Kingslayer and stuff like that. That's important because there's something later in this chapter that I picked up, and I'm not sure if I'm right or not, and I want to see what you guys think about it.
So the one thing that she called him out for, though, for stating the obvious, the birds started chirping. Like, all right, dude.
That's exactly it. No, that's exactly it. And I think that is a signal that the Lannisters are here.
Are they using the birds like
we'll get to that.
Mocking jays?
Exactly. I think we'll talk about it, but I think the Northmen are mocking the sound of that bird. And
that's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Because why else would she say it? Why else would she say it's obvious?
Right.
So we'll get there. But
it almost sounded like it was a secret language.
They're not really in the north anymore.
But that's exactly why the northern people are using it, because it's something only the northern people would recognize. We all picked
up. If you have half a brain, you pick up.
I kind of thought it was just birds chirping. You know, birds chirp when humans are coming.
Nah.
Yeah. Hallis Mullen, him saying Hallis Mullen thing is a thing that I make.
Nah, it's a big like signal. Sense. They're like, oh, it's about to start. Like,
well, it's weird because they do blow war horns a little bit later, but I think this is the secret signal.
At that point, you just gotta
get your ass ready.
Yeah, get that horn ready.
All right, so they kind of go over.
Horn, baby.
What do we want to talk about? They talk about the battle plans a little bit, right?
So she starts talking about how she always has to wait, right? Like, let's talk about some of this bullshit cat stuff. She's saying like, this reminds me of how we always used to have to wait for my If you think about it,
papa,
which is just
Pop-pop?
stupid. Which is just stupid,
Pop-pop?
by the way.
What?
Wait for me, Kat. Like, you weren't actually standing at the fucking wall for...
She was. I mean, what else do? You don't have she doesn't have an Xbox or anything. Like, what else does she have to do?
Go to learn your fucking letters and shit.
She
go
crochet
some
for
stuff.
Fucking 18 hours a day.
You can be stitching looking out over a river. Whatever she does every day, she can do that while sitting out looking at a river.
Grow up, Nelson, if you think... That's like the biggest exaggeration I've ever heard ever, that she just stood there waiting for her dad every fucking day that he was gone.
I'm not saying she's like standing at attention like a British guard for fucking.
That's what she made it seem like.
I don't know, but
like she made it seem like she didn't sleep while he was away. Like, grow the fuck up, Kat.
You know that thing like when you're home alone when you're a kid and like you hear a car door slam outside and you like do a little peek to see if it's your parents. That's what she's doing. She hears like a horse whinny across the river and she's doing a little peek over the walls.
Absolutely not. She's standing attention, waiting for that fucking flag to come over the hill.
I think you're just looking for a reason to hate her. Feels like
I don't need the reasons.
It feels like you're looking for one here.
Grass got straws here, Jeff.
She's stupid as shit.
I'm gonna stand up for her a little bit here. Somebody's got to.
Who else does she remember waiting for besides
Brandon?
Yeah,
Brandon Stark, huh?
Yep, but he never came back.
And then fucking Ned too.
And then Ned told her to wait.
Ned, after there was a baby in her belly, after her turkey was stuffed,
and now she's that's her turkey. Now she's like, it's the whole like, oh, now Rob's telling me to wait. But now they're waiting for Jaime Lannister, which is weird because so she compares this to waiting for Jaime now, but then later, as soon as Rob rides off, then she thinks about waiting for him again. I don't know, just weird cat being a mom, doing mom shit, like overthinking her son and stuff. Probably
again, she's an idiot.
Well, I'm sure not too many ladies were allowed in battle back then. Really.
Also, yeah, hold on. And maybe how close is she to this thing? In yards or meters?
She's gonna be close, right?
Close as fuck, right?
Yeah. They're probably up on the top of the hill.
You'll see where I put her on the map, but like, I think she's close as fuck.
I don't think she's close as fuck. I think she's out of range of like worry, but close enough that she can hear everything.
I think like 100 yards.
I think if the archers who shot at Jaime turned around and shot the other way, they could hit her. That's how close I think she is. But maybe I'm crazy.
Which is a point I want to bring up when we talk about the battle. I think we might have even said a little bit of this already in the last battle about the archers.
Archers are OP in the battles.
She could probably get hit. She's probably protected by some trees though.
I'm
like
not saying,
it seems like it's pretty sick.
Like, I don't think I don't think Jaime has archers. I mean, maybe. Like I feel like doing what he was doing.
I feel like he had a lot of cavalry.
Either, yeah.
I think they bring it up, right? He was like 2,000 horses, like a bunch of horses.
They don't mention
that's at the siege.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he might.
So after this, they start talking about the battle, and they go over some of the stuff that we said earlier. Brendan tells Rob that the Kingslayer is restless and quick to anger, and she says that Rob wagered their lives on it. And she's like looking at Rob, and she says that if he's afraid, he hit it well, and she thinks that like it's crazy that he's only 15, even though he like looks so like big and old now that he's like kind of commanding an army on top of a horse and stuff. And she like prays that when she thinks about him being only 15, she like prays that he sees 16 and 20 and 50 and has kids and blah, 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 and gets to hold him and does shit that Ned got to do with Rob.
Also, Rob is just as tall as Catelyn. Like, that's pretty crazy.
She says that, right?
And he's going out into battle to fight fully grown men. And he's like as tall as a woman. Like,
isn't Cat kind of like
she's probably pretty tall,
short,
but not
though,
like
right?
super tall.
She's a full grown woman. She's a 33-year-old, at least 35 ish.
Yeah, there's 33-year-old women that are 4'9".
What's your point then?
I'm just saying that
33-year-old women that are 6'7".
A 33-year-old woman could be 5'1". Like that doesn't mean she's 5'9".
That's what I mean. Like, I'm saying he's small and he's about to go fight these fully grown men.
Yeah, he's on a stallion though, and he has a dire wolf.
True.
Well, and I mean, even just the result, I think he did well enough for himself that I would say he's probably not that much shorter than these guys, or that much outclassed, outsized.
Well, the thing is, there's definitely
he also
other
has
people.
An honor guard around him.
Yeah, the thing is, I think so. We don't know, but I think some of the people they talk about in this honor guard are probably. So here's one thing. But how old are those guys?
Some of them are pretty young, right?
How old do you think like Eddard and Torrin Karstark were?
20-ish, maybe younger. Yeah. Like, they're not married.
They're not old. They're the sons of a lord, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like 20s.
I mean, I guess we don't know. Ned was 35, so lords could range anywhere from like fucking 70, right? If you're, I guess, oldest. I mean, not Walter's what, like fucking. I think Walter's like 90 or something. But yeah, I feel like most lords probably between like 30, probably not even 30. 30 is probably low. 30 and 50, 30, 70. But yeah, these guys could potentially be older. But yeah, these guys are like Rob's friends, which is kind of fucked up.
So that was part of the agreement, right, of Kat getting 30 people, that she was in like, all right, well, you need 30 people around you too. And then everybody just started like tossing their sons up to guard him.
Yeah, I think the sons are probably volunteering themselves as well.
Yeah.
So a few days before the battle, or the day before the battle or something, he sends Brendan to go scout with a few hundred men and to make sure that the army isn't seen, to shoot down arrows and stuff like that. And he comes back and says Jaime's got 12,000 men split up. Birds. He's only got
ravens. Shoot down birds. Shoot down arrows.
Yeah, shoot down the ravens.
Shoot down the messages.
Kill outriders, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and he says they have 12,000 footmen and 2,000 horse at River Run, and it's split into the 3 camps. And so then Galbert Glover says that they are outnumbered by the Lannisters 3-1. Which would leave, so they have 14,000. So 3-1 would leave the Starks with 4,500, which doesn't sound right to me because I approximated them at having 5,800 at the end of the last chapter with Catelyn at the Frey one.
So these guys are also estimating. They're not exact counting in the battlefield. So he's like, we're outnumbered 3-1. I'm sure he doesn't even have an accurate idea how many men they have.
I'm just trying to get an idea. But so I thought I was wrong when he said that, but we find out later when Kat says that actually that the Starks have 6,000, which is really close to my 5,800 estimate. Plus, they said they got a few hundred more from the Riverlands. So I'm fucking spot on with these estimates so far. So I'm a great battle estimator, even if Galbert Glover isn't. So you guys don't have to worry. Podcast listeners, you're in good hands with me. You can basically just trust any number I ever say on this podcast.
Yeah, don't worry. Nelson's Googled everything that he ever says about this.
Exactly.
He has no personal opinions about anything.
I'm calculating all this out over here. I'm doing
Reddit, how many do they have?
That's not what happened, I swear. I didn't even fact check with Reddit. So yeah, I guess the last part that they talk about here is that they gained a few more, like I just said, from the big one is Lord Jason Mallister on the way down here. And then we find out. Go ahead.
I was just saying they got some of the people that were fleeing back north.
Yeah, right? And any Riverland people that were kind of out and about after the battle at River Run.
Yeah, and that guy they passed. They're like, yo.
Yep. Oh wait, what are you saying, Kyle? Yeah.
No, I'm saying they just on the way. Didn't they come across some other little? Isn't that what you just said? That.
Yeah, like people that ran away from the siege and shit.
Yeah, River Run people that were fleeing north.
When Lord Mallister or whatever, isn't that what you said?
Yeah, what about him?
Doesn't he live down here? And they
he lives around here.
Then they recruit him?
The thing that I thought you were going to remember, that I was going to be super surprised, when Kat goes down to King's Landing way earlier in this book to talk to Ned, when she's coming back north, the chapter where she goes to the inn and captures Tyrion at the end, at the beginning, she passes 2 nights on the road.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Lord Jason Mallister. That's these guys. Yeah. I wasn't even going to bring that up because it doesn't really matter. But Kyle was like, "Oh yeah, the guys."
Remember that.
But
yeah,
you were like, the guys they pass on the road. Yeah, she was worried they were going to notice her, and you were just like, "Oh, the guys that pass on the road." And I was like, "How the fuck did Kyle?"
No, but I meant like they pass them on the road to where they're going now. They pass their house, and they're like, "Yo."
I got that out. I figured that out when I was prodding you a little bit more. But I was almost like, "Holy fuck!"
I wish
you should have just played it off.
Edit around that, and make it sound like I said that.
We'll see. So we find out next about. A little bit about, not a ton, about who part of the Frey contract from the last Cat chapter, Rob had to take a squire.
Yeah.
Yes, one of the Freys.
It was older than him.
They didn't actually mention him at all in the last Cat chapter. This is the first mention of him at all. Do you guys know his name?
Oliver Frey.
Oliver.
It sounds like there's 2 though. The way he says it, like he's like 2 years younger, but then he was like 10 years older too.
That's
like,
that's a really cool
2
quote,
years older and 10 years younger.
10 years younger. Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Just immature.
He's like a child.
Lord Walter's son, 2 years older than Rob, and 10 years younger and more anxious. 10 years younger and more anxious together, saying like he's way more of a child than Rob is, which is kind of like pointing out what we were mentioning earlier. Rob has kind of been forced to grow up pretty fast over the course of
and it's like we were just talking about him having to fight in this battle, like even having to go fight fucking the Lannisters and stuff.
I don't think they say it, but I assume Oliver fought, right? He's older and a squire.
I think he probably fight. But like, doesn't Tyrion have a squire that was just kind of chilling in camp, getting his camp ready?
That's true. I don't know if that guy fought, but we don't know how old he was. I thought they said he was young. I don't remember.
And also, Tyrion's his fucking.
But
I guess he should have fought.
I don't know. Kyle might be right. Like he's like getting Rob's horse.
I think the squire's like in charge of like your gear and like making sure that you're good to fight.
I thought squires fought too. Like we definitely hear stories.
I think some squires fight and some probably don't.
I think you're right there. He probably doesn't fight in this. It sounds like he's like, you're right, like putting shit on Rob here and stuff. But yeah, he puts Rob's shield in place, handed him his helm, and then she says, when he lowered it over the face she loved so well, a tall young knight sat on his gray stallion where her son had been. And then he tells Cat that he has to ride down the line, which just gives me Braveheart vibes.
Which he doesn't really like. I feel like he rides in front of the people that are with him at this point, right? It's pretty. I feel like it's almost right before the battle.
He's probably doing some Braveheart shit.
You think he goes all the way around the Whispering Woods? I am Robb Stark.
No, probably not. I think they're being quiet and trying to ambush. I don't think he's trying to yell.
He's not hollering, but
I don't even think he rides around the whole cylindrical tube that is the Whispering Woods.
I don't think you understand how this is laid out.
This isn't a highway overpass, man. Underpass.
What do you mean?
Cylindrical
I absolutely
tube.
do. Show the fucking pic.
They're in a tunnel?
They're in a tunnel. It's like 300. They come through the little fucking gates and then bam, they got your ass.
So here's what
we got.
Wham
bam, thank you, ma'am.
I mean, this again. there's no textbook on this. This is my guess, just for you to dispute me. So I understand what you're saying. You think there's this is.
So I didn't think there was an opening where the was it the Karstark star?
Yeah, up here.
Yeah, is that the Karstarks?
Karstarks, yeah.
So I thought it was like continued hill
from here to here.
to the other bowman. No, to the right. Where the stream is.
I would call that a bowl.
Right. I
don't know if I call it a cylindrical tube, I guess.
It's obviously not a cylindrical tube.
Is that Catelyn in the fucking center there?
This is Cat over here. No, this is Brendan with the Riverland banners.
I was going to say, wait, where's Catelyn then?
Cat's the second Stark one. This is the one that doesn't move when everything starts happening.
Yeah, so I considered it to be like a natural land bowl with even a skinnier...
So they call it a
funneling system in.
So Jeff, the only reason I had it like this is they say it's a valley that with a stream that's running through it, and the valley's going south to north. So like, because they say at the end the Karstarks are blocking off the valley. The valley narrows to the north, and the Karstarks are blocking it off. And then they talk about how you have the Umbers, Malisters, and Mormonts on the eastern bank, and then these people on the other bank. So that's where like that layout comes from.
I'm impressed with how many trees you put on this thing, Nelson.
Took a long time, and it was hard to make them way more dense up here and not dense down here. At first, it just looked like a bunch of lines, like a fucking Christmas tree farm, and then
I hope you just did like a little box and then copied pasted that.
I was looking, and he didn't. That's impressive. That's why I had to say something about it, because that was a lot of work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
I put it into that. I had to go to like a D&D map maker to like make that map and like zoom way the fuck out. Like you can't even see the grids that zoomed out so fucking far. I'm probably gonna turn the grids off, but
no, that looks good. Yeah, so that makes more sense. I think that's pretty much about how I was picturing. I guess I thought it was more marshier, but I guess there kind of is with like the delta, the river down there. I guess you.
The only reason part of the reason I put it like this is Kat says that she hears them cross the river twice before the battle, before the even like the whistling of the birds, the bird whistle thing.
Yeah, she hears them laughing and crossing the stream or the river. I don't know that this was supposed to be 100% accurate representation either.
That was part of the disclaimer at the top, is that anything that's in these maps probably doesn't really matter that much at all. I just think it's cool.
Nelson, you need to go to cartography school. That's all I got to say.
One thing that I was trying to do that I didn't do that would have been a little extra was Kat says she sees like the Umbers in a clearing. I was going to like make a little clearing over here on this ridge, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, there's no way she can see through that.
All right, let's keep going.
So, my point was, Rob didn't ride all the way over to the east side where these two groups of archers were.
You're right. He's riding in front of
he rode in front of these
the western
three little fucks here on the west. Yeah,
they talk about people being on the west, east, and north, so that's why it's kind of like this. So, who knows who's in Rob's honor guard?
Torrin and something Karstark.
Torrin and Eddard.
Yep, that's all I remember.
Patrick Mallister, he's one of the ones that Kat saw on the road earlier, on the way north with her son. He's the son. Small John.
Umber.
Darren Hornwood, he's one of the ones that Jamie also kills, so don't have to remember him. He's not around very long.
Bye, Darren.
Theon.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Wendell, who's one of the fat guys we heard about with Kat in the Catelyn chapter. Robin Flint, it's the first time we hear him. And Daisy Mormont, who is a girl.
6 foot.
And some of the people aren't too happy that there's a girl protecting Rob when, like, there should be, like, that right should go to other people. And Kat's basically like, fuck you, she's the best fighter, she gets the spot.
Oh, yeah, she said it's about protecting my son, not about your fucking honor.
Exactly.
Pussies.
What? And she sounds like a fucking badass.
So then
she does.
So
she's had a mace in her hand or since something.
Since most girls had a doll or something like that.
Yeah. Well, they call it a morning star. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Kat wonders if 30 men's going to be enough to keep Rob alive, and she thinks, or if even 6,000 will be enough at that rate. That's where we get the size of Rob's army. This is where we hear the call, the bird call. Here's the quote. A bird called faintly in the distance, a high, sharp thrill that felt like an icy hand on Catelyn's neck. Another bird answered, a third, a fourth. She knew their call well enough from her years at Winterfell. Snow strikes. Sometimes you saw them in the deep of winter, when the godswood was white and still. They were northern birds. They're coming, Catelyn thought. They're coming, my lady, Hal Mullen whispered. He was always a man for stating the obvious. Definitely a signal, right? She hears it, thinks about how it's northern, a bunch answer. She thinks they're coming, and then remarks how Hal is stating the obvious when he says
the only thing
super cool.
Could be, but it's not really how climate works in this land, was that they flew south for the winter. But
winter is coming.
Yeah, winter's coming.
So I know Jeff said you're a moron if you didn't. I know Jeff said you're a moron if you didn't pick up on that. But I know a lot of our viewers didn't pick up on that. We don't all think you're morons. We think Jeff's a moron.
If anyone here didn't pick up on that, you're a nitwit.
If Jeff picked up on it and you didn't, yeah, you're a nitwit because Jeff is fucking everything.
This isn't considered the North anymore. Where does the North begin and end? I guess is my question.
The neck. Pretty much Catelyn, yeah.
Okay.
Where that chapter was basically considered north-south.
Fair enough. But so isn't there stuff more southern than King's Landing though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then why is that the north and south? Like, shouldn't this all be the north?
Well, this is
all considered the south,
yeah,
really.
There's east west, right? So the Vale is the east. The Westerlands are the west. This is kind of the middle.
So
Riverlands,
Crownlands. South
the Riverlands.
This is called the Riverlands. The stuff south of King's Landing is the Stormlands,
the
and then below that is Dorne.
And the even further south, is that what you're saying?
Dorne's
no,
south.
It's just called the southern.
I know. I'm just saying, like their cutoff for the north is like it's like 10 miles is the north, and then 150 miles is the south. It's like an iceberg. Like 10% of it is the north, and 90% of it is the south.
The north is actually almost as big land-wise as almost the whole south.
Okay,
though.
I guess maybe that's my problem. It's like Canada, where like 90% of the population lives like 10 miles from the border.
The north is America's Canada. They're about the same size.
No,
America's
I'm just saying because like northern Canada is like just barren because it's too cold.
Even compared to America. Canada's compared to America. There's way less people, right? There's got to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like a fraction. It's got to be like maybe a quarter.
Like you said, it's like more barren up there.
You're speculating.
Yeah, I am. You're right. We'll save that for the spoiler section.
Stop speculating.
All right, moving on. Bird's call, definitely a sign. Kat can actually see Jamie through the trees for like a second. Yeah.
She might be full of She might be
a little full of it.
I don't know. She said he's pretty hard to miss.
The moonlight had silvered his armor and the gold of his hair.
So then she hears them cross the river. This is where I have the horns blowing. Pretty close to here.
You didn't draw that?
So next was the arrows start coming, right? Mage Mormont blows. Oh, what happens when the horns get blown? So Mage Mormont blows her horn. She's the top right over here, the bear. That's the Mormont sigil.
Mm-hmm. She's the first.
Then what?
Then the guy Karstark blew his
Grey
horn, right?
Wind howls an answer. The sound seemed to go right through.
No, Grey Wind was like third, wasn't he?
Nope. He's second.
He was second.
The sound went right through Catelyn Stark, and she found herself shivering. It was a terrible sound, a frightening sound, yet there was music in it too. For a second, she felt something like pity for the Lannisters below. So this is what death sounds like, she thought. Then Great John, over back on the other side. Then...
Wait, real quick, when Grey Wind howled, I almost got goosebumps.
Yeah, Grey Wind's a good. That's why I read that.
I was like, oh, I didn't even hear it, and I that was
dude, imagine you're those Lannisters, and you're like, oh, you hear the horn, and you're like, we are fucked. And then you hear that wolf, and you're just pissing yourself. Right?
The crazier line regarding wolves was there might have even been more than one wolf there.
That's what she's saying later on. Yeah, she's like, is that just
is Grey Wind just doing that much fucking damage?
Well, she's going just off sounds, but yeah. So the next thing is then trumpets start blowing. Those are the Malisters and the Freys from east and west. Why are they trumpets and not war horns?
Because they're southern people.
Exactly. Freys are from twins, and Malisters are the people that we just got that are from the closest, basically, city to us. They start blowing, and then the last one is Rickard Karstark, who's up here to the north. So this is the Lord Karstark, and then this is meant to represent the people that are with Robb. You'll see why they get their own symbol later. Spoiler. So next is she hears bows, the arrows. Dead. Got him.
Arrowed.
They have to get destroyed from these arrows. Robb has bowmen hidden on all these hills. How
many arrows do you think hit trees, though, dude? Come on. Be real.
Nah, look, the trees thin out down here by the river, obviously. So then they start charging, and then this is when Cat's basically left alone for a little bit.
Damn, they lost a whole 1,000 people just to arrows?
I don't know that he had 1,000 people
We don't know how many people there were. Yeah, exactly. Arbitrary number.
I thought there was 4,500 people.
No, what are you talking about?
No, that was at his camp.
I never heard that number. That number's not for anything. 2,000
You
horsemen.
said 4,500, motherfucker.
No, there were 5,800.
That's what he's saying. Robert Glover was saying about the amount of people in Stark's army, but really it was 6,000.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Glow, for paying attention. So Cat's alone with Hal Mullen and all those cats. They're waiting on the ridge. She sees Great John for a second riding down on the other side. Then there's a quote that says, afterwards she could not claim that she had seen the battle, yet she could hear, and the valley rang with echoes, the crack of broken lance, the clash of sword, the cries of Lannister and Winterfell and Tully, River Run and Tully. When she realized there was no more to see, she closed her eyes and listened. The battle came alive around her. She heard hoofbeats, iron boots splashing in the shallow water, the woody sound of sword on oaken shield and the scrape of steel against steel, the hiss of an arrow, the thunder of drums, the terrified screaming of 1,000 horses. Men shouted curses and begged for mercy, and got it or not, and lived or died. The ridges seemed to play queer tricks with sound. Once she heard Robb's voice, as clear as if he'd been standing at her side, calling, "To me! To me!" And she heard his direwolf, snarling and growling, heard the snap of those long teeth, and the tearing of flesh, shrieks of fear and pain from man and horse alike. Was there only one wolf? It was hard to be certain. So what's making it hard to be certain? Just how many people are screaming and getting their flesh.
Well, just the way the sound is echoing everywhere. She can't.
Yeah.
She has no way of knowing. It's hard to get her bearings.
It's gotta be fucking sick. Well,
sick.
It's gotta be terrifying for her. It's weird. She doesn't talk about how she's scared for Robb at all. When the battle's actually happening.
She did a little, and then she kind of went into the narration mode here.
Yeah. So then basically the sounds go away, and that's it. They come back.
But she heard Grey Wind again.
She heard Grey Wind. Oh yeah,
that's the first note she heard.
As the sun rises, he howls at the dawn. Because this was we didn't really mention it. This is all taking place under the moonlight.
Yeah, in the nighttime.
Nighttime. So Robb comes back. What's he look like?
He's got blood all over his arm.
Left arm, and his shield is beating the fuck.
He's on a different horse.
He's on a different horse.
So
little brown gelding.
She asked him about his arm. She's like, "What happened? You're hurt."
He flexes.
It's all my friend,
Jon Snow style, and he's like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
What?
I think it's Torrens, maybe. I'm not sure. And then everybody comes up. Basically, everyone who's left of his honor guard with Jaime, and they throw him down. Kyle, did you see this coming? I don't think so. I don't think this was your prediction. I think you predicted they were going to win, though.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Rob was going to win on this side.
Can't just keep happening.
What?
You said bad stuff can't just keep happening to them. I think was your prediction.
And I mean, that's proving true. But like, yeah, exactly. I mean, I knew that. I thought they were going to win on this side. I didn't know that they were going to sneak attack Jaime at night before they even fought anybody.
Kyle also had like one kind of little problem with the last chapter, with the battle that Tyrion was in. Chloe, do you remember what it was?
He didn't die.
Yeah, Tyrion didn't.
Plot armor.
Tyrion didn't die. The guy was trying to get him to yield. Why would they do that? And then here we have Jaime.
I mean,
captured.
Well, it makes sense that Jaime was.
Both. I mean,
Rob says why they kept him alive. What do you mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Kyle last chapter was saying like, why would you want to keep him alive? Like, just kill him. And I'm saying this is a perfect example of why you want to keep him alive. They said they captured over 100 knights, 12 lords. Like, they're bragging about how many people they capture later.
Do you think that they captured them in hopes of flipping a couple? Like, some of them were
for ransoms and hostages and shit like that.
Yeah. So, I guess I meant more of like Tyrion
probably flipping too.
Tyrion probably should have died in that fight, though, like in general, and then to make it to that night, and then that night had him dead to rights, and then he didn't die because of some random helmet he had on, I guess is what I'm getting at.
It's called not plot armor, plot weapons.
Plot
helmet, plot armor weapon.
Yeah, he's not defensive plot.
Tyrion's valuable. It's a plot device of why he wouldn't get killed.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but like I also wonder, like, how didn't Jaime get hit by an arrow? You know, like that kind of thing.
How didn't everybody get hit by an arrow? They kept fucking shooting them. That's my point.
Until they charged. They shot till they charged.
I think they shot
twice.
She said she heard
volleys,
twice.
I think. Yeah.
I thought they released.
And there's a bunch of trees, guys.
I thought they released a third time. I was
you ever try to golf in between trees?
Did you not see the map, Chloe? They clear out near the water.
You can't golf in the open fairway.
Look at Khal Drogo. Took 7 arrows or whatever he had sticking out of him.
He had one.
One? Okay,
Shagga had a lot.
An arrow,
Shagga had a lot, but they all got stuck in his armor. They didn't all make it to his skin.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm getting at. It's
all see, all these guys are wearing armor.
These guys have armor. Jaime doesn't have a helmet, though. So they come back. They got Jaime. How's this conversation with Jaime go? He's a little cut, but his hair is gold. And he says he would have offered her his sword, but he mislaid it.
He kind of acts like
right?
This is something Tyrion would say.
Yeah.
He mislaid it. And then Kat says,
I don't care about your sword. Give me my daughters. Give me my father. Give me my brother. Give me my Ned. Give me my something else.
Give me everything because I'm an ungrateful bitch.
Yeah, his brother, dad, husband, daughters is who she wants. He's like, I mislaid them too.
That's a Tyrion quote.
Yeah,
through.
He's a jackass. He's being a jackass is what you meant to say there. That's Tyrion's just MO.
So they say that people are going to want to kill Jaime.
So Theon urges Rob to kill him right here.
Well, you guys were talking in the past about how Theon's kind of loose cannon.
Well, he was urging. Well, I think we talked about this because I think he urged Rob to kill the wildling.
Yeah.
Who's not dead now and who's like chilling in the gods with Bran.
And right when Ned gets captured, isn't he like, you gotta raise the banners like immediately?
He's like all for war and like just fucking kill everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
or when Ned got attacked in the street, right? He was like, you need to call the banners.
Yeah, exactly. He was saying call banners before anybody else. It was the morning. I forget what sparked it, but it was the chapter that he took Bran out.
Before it was cool.
It was probably the attack
because it was because Ned got attacked in the street.
So he says no, he's useful, and Ned never condoned the murdering of prisoners. And Jaime's like,
oh, very honorable.
Jaime's like, very wise and honorable. And Kat's like, take him away, chain him up. And Rob's like, yeah, and guard that motherfucker too, because Lord Stark is not gonna like this guy. Because why, Kyle? We've definitely said this 3 times, if not more this chapter.
Both them boys.
But killed them both already. Yep.
Is it? And this is where they take the story like Jaime like knew he was gonna lose and just like spearheaded towards Rob.
Exactly.
Like, all right, at least I'm going to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, and apparently almost did it.
Do you think he knew that they would keep him alive for ransom? That's why he was like, fuck it, I'll just go right for this guy.
I don't think
you know what I mean?
I don't think. I think.
Why wouldn't somebody have killed him? Like, when you see that he's chopping people down,
I think they
you
were
would
trying.
think that someone would try.
I think they were trying.
Not hard enough because you took him capture. I mean, I guess Rob could have been like, hey, just capture him.
Yeah, but Rob says he does get his sword stuck in Torrhen's neck. So like, if he gets his sword stuck and someone just hits him and he drops his sword, at that point, what's he gonna do?
He's unarmed.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty fucked. I mean, there's probably swords all over the ground and shit. I don't know. Somehow they get him. I doubt that they were like being too careful not to kill him. But Jamie can only use a
gold sword, Nelson.
Yeah.
I doubt that they were being too careful not to kill him. But because the opportunity arose, I think it's obviously like the way to go. Kind of like with Tyrion, once he's off his horse without a weapon.
Something special going on around him. That's why they didn't kill him mid-battle.
Yeah, he was Jamie.
Some outside force. Yeah.
He was fucking killing everybody else.
Some plot armor.
And he didn't have a helmet with a fucking nail on top of it.
Exactly.
Like, what do you want him to do?
Yeah, we don't know what happens in this battle. We just have a guess.
We know what would happen if he had a fucking spike helmet, though.
So I guess
he would have killed Rob.
Yeah, he would have been out of there. It's
fucking clear as day.
We'll go through the last part of this map here. Again, lots of speculation from this point on. Little Chargewitz just basically get surrounded, start to get thinned out. Once it's just Jamie, he turns to try to push towards Rob, gets met by the little Karstark kids in between. The Karstark kids go away, and then Jamie's captured.
You did way too much work.
Done. Donezo. That's the last map. You're welcome, viewers. You're welcome, Jeff. You're welcome, Glow. You're welcome, Kyle. You're all welcome.
I already had Nelson, the perfect picture in my head.
You had a fucking cylinder or fucking some weird...
I made a bowl. Shut up.
They were fighting in a tunnel. They had AKs. I don't know, man. I don't know what you were...
They did bridge technique. Basically what Rob did was bridge technique.
Yeah, exactly. So Theon starts gloating about how good they did. Like, we fucking are awesome. Like, we fucking got 100 people.
But such a battle.
River Run.
What a fight.
That's such a battle. We got so many people. Like, I mean, if these numbers Theon is spewing are correct, it is pretty impressive. So he compares it to the Field of Fire. Kyle, do you know what that is?
Nope. Why would I know what that is?
I have no idea.
This is literally the first mention of it in the book.
Oh, do you know what it is?
I'm sure it has something to do with dragons.
Is this when the old king just burned everybody? Didn't we talk about that?
Aegon the Conqueror.
Was it the first time they brought the dragons over to fight in the battle?
It was kind of, yeah. It was one of the first times
dragons
showed up
in
an open field,
cooked everybody, right? Yeah.
Aegon the Conqueror.
They fought in the Reach during like the harvest when all the fucking fields were dry and just like
lit that shit up.
But 10-1. If that's a real number, that's fucking...
It's exaggeration. Nutty. It was probably more like 4-1.
I don't know. They captured 100 knights.
They shot a lot of arrows, man.
They shot arrows, too, yeah. I don't know. I bet you 10-1's not... I bet you it's not too far off. What are we assuming for Rob's numbers now? Do we even take any losses from this?
Yeah, he lost, like... For sure. They lost all the brother. I'm saying he lost... I'm sure he lost a decent...
From my 5,800 number, from my 6,000 number, what's he go down to?
5,200.
Oh, no way.
800 people?
No way.
How many people did they kill?
200.
We don't even know how many people they killed.
We just said 10-1, and so if it was 4-1, and he lost 600 people, times 4...
Right, so we're saying he lost 50 people?
Yeah, Jamie only had like maybe 300, 400 people, I think, right?
All right, well, he's about to go fight another battle. He's going to lose more people there.
Yeah, he is going to go to River Run.
I'm sticking with 600.
But we don't know. We're talking about how much does he have going into that River Run battle?
No, he lost like 50 people.
Yeah, 50 to 100, like nothing basically.
Yeah, a lot of them are pussies in the branches too, shooting arrows. So.
Anyway, good win. Kat's argument. Kat says, this is nothing. This means fucking nothing.
Oh, do you have Tywin?
Tywin matters. As long as you don't have Tywin, the war's still going. And Rob's like,
she said you cut the head off and that 3/4 of it's still coiled around my father's castle.
Exactly. And Rob says, we still got River Run. That's the last of the chapter. Thoughts?
Bam.
Kyle, chapter thoughts?
Ba-bam. Ba-bam.
Well, I mean, I knew something good had to happen to them Stark boys here sooner or later.
You called it. You're such a great prediction.
Such a good predictor you are, Cal.
I mean, I was right.
When I had to do this shit, Kyle, you just got to get outrageous as fuck, and then also be like, "Oh, all right, that's cool."
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what the viewers want to hear.
So I'm gonna guess that Kat's dad is already dead in the castle, right? So
Lord Hottie.
Yeah, so we're gonna go out way outlandish here. And then her brother is there being
Edmure.
Edmure is being king.
He was a captive, right?
He's captured right now.
He's captured. He's gonna bust out of jail. He's gonna run.
Himself.
He's gonna run from wherever he is all the way through the Lannisters' lines.
He's right outside. I think he's just probably right outside.
Okay, well then he's gonna run across the moat or across the river, like just right across it.
Jesus style.
Yeah, he's that fast. And then he's gonna jump up on the wall and just
Edmure gets back inside.
I don't know what he's gonna do.
And spit fire on
I ran. Yeah, he's gonna fly across the battle and burn everybody. Use fire breath. He's been holding in for this long. I don't know, man. You want me to get outlandish, but I don't know that there's that outlandish anything to say here. I think that they're gonna. I think this is like the beginning of the end of the Lannisters on this river run here, at least.
Do you guys think, are there any more cat chapters in this book?
Hopefully not.
I don't know. We don't have many chapters left.
Yeah, you're right, because most of this at the end is the afterward.
We have like 7 more chapters, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Kyle knows a big spoiler in this book that hasn't happened yet.
No, he doesn't.
I forgot Ned dies.
Nice job, Nelson.
We've been doing this so long. There's one more cat chapter. Second to last chapter is a cat chapter.
Yeah, we're pretty deep. Well, I was just gonna say. So I think this starts Tywin pulling back. How's that?
Okay.
And then he's gonna get pincer moved here. I don't think he's gonna push further north.
Do you think he starts to come west?
Yeah, he's gonna fall back to support River around here because he ran into a force here. He knows that Rob wasn't there. He knows something's up.
Yeah, Tyler
they have Jaime now.
Right.
Like word's gonna get to him pretty quickly that there's shit going down over here. I think he's kind of in a much worse spot than he was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's gonna kind of turn the tides a little bit. I don't think it's going to end things necessarily because, I mean, like she said, and even Tywin kind of hints at it, like he doesn't really care that much. It's more, well, I guess he does, because he wanted to get Tyrion out. So I don't know.
And if we go right back to it, if we go right back to the numbers game, though, nothing changed at all. And we never knew how many people Jaime had. We only ever knew how many people Tywin had, 20,000. Now we hear Jaime has 14,000. They have 34,000 compared to Robb Stark's, I think it was like 25,000?
It was close to 20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was 20. But I guess they picked up some people along the way.
Well, and they just lost like 10,000 people at this fight.
Yeah,
picking Jaime too.
Well, they lost a lot of people at the fight. They actually did lose a lot of people at the fight last chapter.
Yeah, Tywin's fight. Yeah, that was callback.
I know.
So, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like, you take out, that's like the whole reason for these lords and the kidnappings and the ransoms and all that. Like, they took a very important piece of the other army. He was obviously, he wasn't just royalty, he was also the Kingslayer. He was also, like, a renowned fighter and, like, not quite Tywin's level commander, but obviously he has skills and he's been in this situation before. So anytime you take that sort of experience out, it deflates morale and it also.
I'm gonna say one thing. You missed one really big thing. Maybe the thing that should be at the top of Jaime's stat sheet or his like credential list. What is his job in the Seven Kingdoms?
Right now? That's right. I forgot he is now the not the hand, the
Warden of the East.
No, he's the leader of the Kingsguard, right?
Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Since Barristan got dismissed. I was just going for Kingsguard. I forgot about the Barristan thing, but yes, you're right. He's now the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard.
And he's not even there. What a fucking scumbag. He should be illegal. He should be a deserter. he should be killed.
He was named Lord Commander while he was out doing this.
Exactly.
I mean, he's
his
protecting the king.
His head should be on a spike.
He's protecting the king that's right now, right? He's fighting the king's war.
Yeah, but I guess that
is true.
But she's worried about something else, though, isn't she? She's worried about the Is it
Who's worried about what?
Cersei is worried about Stannis.
Yeah, I mean, the North is
so
not
like she can't really just kind of peace out with the army and say, "You have my command. We're commander of the King's Guard. Like we're coming." So now King's Landing. King's Landing.
Okay.
There's definitely like an army there. Like they might not be called an army, but there's like all the fucking
the City Watch or whatever.
Yeah, like I mean, she could have a force for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So like they can't just peace out and come and join this.
Yep.
Like they have stuff to do back home. She's worried at home still.
Yeah, exactly. Which is something I mentioned. I think I mentioned that to you a few chapters ago. You're like the Starks are gonna get fucked, and I was like, well, there's way more stuff going on in this world than just the Starks, which is part of what you're saying now. Like, yeah, like they can't just 100% focus on this problem because they have other problems that are brewing up right now. Anything else from you guys, Jeff Glow, that we missed?
I'm Gucci.
I'm all right.
All right, we'll hop into the spoiler section. Say
I'm
goodbye
good.
to Kyle.
I'm good if you're good.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you, Cal. Bye, Cal.
All right, Cal. Good hanging out, friend. We'll see you on the next episode for Danny 8.
Bye, Cal.
See ya.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
See you later, Cal. It was great hanging out, bud. We'll see you on the next episode for Daenerys 8.
Bitch.
And now, on to the spoiler section for Catelyn 10. Boys, what are your hot takes for this episode?
Very little.
I ain't got shit, yo.
It's going to be a short spoiler section, boys.
And that's about it.
Oh, there's something where, just really quick, because I just thought about it. Kat says that she wants to see him have his own kids, and his girl's pregnant, and she's still living.
So, okay, so hold on.
Westerling?
Let's clear some things up. Jane being pregnant is a theory in the books. There's no confirmation that she's pregnant like it is in the show.
And she took the moon drink or whatever it's called.
So in the books, there's theory. So yes.
Plan B.
Glow, go ahead. Explain to Jeff what you're saying. What's the deal with Jane's pregnancy?
In the books, it is theorized on a Song of Ice and Fire, or I forget what it's called, a wiki of Ice and Fire.
Just what happens in the books with Jane's pregnancy?
It is, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but they think that Jane's mom gave her Plan B in Westeros so that she couldn't have a baby.
I'm pretty sure she tells Jaime she did.
Yeah, I don't.
But I'm pretty sure the description of the daughter that Jaime meets is different than the description Kat gives of Jean. So a lot of people think that, I think it's known that there's 2 Westerling daughters. And I think a lot of people think that Robb marries Jean and has potentially impregnates her. And the Westerlings are in on it the whole time, right? They're like, they know about it. They get pardoned immediately after the Red Wedding from the Lannisters. So a lot of people are pretty sure they were in on it the whole time.
Makes sense.
So when Jaime shows up and he talks to them and is basically like, hey, you guys were in on it. What's the deal? She isn't pregnant, is she? That'd be bad. People think that the Westerlings are planned to be on the Lannister side, but as soon as Jean was actually pregnant, basically was like, oh, fuck, no, that's our actual kid. We're not going to just kill this kid or something. So the Westerling mom presents the other daughter to Jaime, which is why the descriptions of these daughters are different, right? Like, Jaime thinks like, oh, this daughter looks like she has wide childbearing hips, like she would be good for having children, when Kat thinks the exact opposite when she first meets Jean. So there's like weird discrepancies between the two that make people think that the Westerling mom presents a different person to Jaime than the person that Kat meets. And why would she need to do that if she wasn't pregnant? Why not?
Yeah.
Unless she's actually showing.
Right.
Like, yeah, if Jean's actually showing pregnant too, right?
I hope she is pregnant.
I hope so too, because I'll throw a third wrench into there that I've never thought about.
The thing is, there's not enough books. You can't be like. I bet you George was like gonna do it, but there's not enough fucking time.
How many years since he died? Even if it's just like a little kid, like a future, because there's gonna be no Stark boys. All the Stark boys are dead.
But the whole Robb will thing like kind of goes out the window. Like the whole Great Northern Conspiracy is based about Robb's having this will that says Jon Snow is the fucking heir to Winterfell. And if say like Glow, imagine this. Imagine that everything from the Grand Northern Conspiracy Theory like comes to fruition and they kind of come back and Jon takes over. And then like once everything's about to be done, you find out that there's a Robb child. Like what the fuck happens
100% Jon would be on board to be like, yeah, I'll regent until you fucking are come of age, my dude. And I'm heading up north with my man Ghost.
I feel so too, but I feel like you still. What's her name? I feel like it adds another book. I feel like that just it adds another.
That's
book.
Not a whole other book. That's easy.
Rob's a Targaryen. Stop, you know how, not Robb, Jon. Wait, I did want to say something. Ned's seed is not strong.
Ned's seed is not strong.
Ned's seed is weak as fuck.
Why?
Everyone looks like a Tully. Half of them, majority, except for Arya.
We don't know about Tommen.
Catelyn was. I'm gonna make this prediction. I'll be the first one. Catelyn was sleeping around with some fucking little bitch boys.
The thing is, like, that would involve her not like thinking about that. Like, she thinks about these children as being like that's like a hot take, and I kind of like it. If she didn't think of them as Ned's kids all the time,
I do not like that take.
It would be sweet. I would like it.
I'm taking that.
I would be behind.
She was trying to get back at Ned all those years for Jon Snow, and she's guilty with herself, so she just kept fucking other people. And her seed's a little bit stronger than the guy she was fucking. And then here comes Arya.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, Robb still looks like Ned. But that is the first child, so yeah. All right, okay, Ned or Jeff, I can get on your side now.
Catelyn was sleeping around. Put it on Reddit, Nelson. We'll get famous.
Theon's kids.
So
what if it was? Dude, that'd be wild.
Let's go to my next point. I guess my first point.
Yeah, sorry, we
talked about it. We talked about it with Kyle a little bit, but we know the gravity of it. The Karstark stuff. Is this you guys' point?
It's the beginning of the end of Robb. No, I didn't even bring it up because I feel like we know it. Anyone who actually knows the spoilers.
So the one thing, So the one thing that I'm going to mention to like really clear up. The Karstarks, we know 4 of them so far. Rickard, who's Lord Karstark. Torrhen Karstark, dead by Jaime. Eddard Karstark, dead by Jaime. Harry and Karstark,
dead by other people.
Captured last battle. Yeah, captured last battle. With
they're just not good
Lord
fighters.
Willis man.
It's the dad's fault. They're just not good fighters.
Karstarks are bad fighters.
All of them are dead or captured. It's the dad's fault.
Yeah, and then I guess
I kind of agree with you, Jeff.
Again, it makes me wonder, like, how much did George know when he wrote this? Because he makes both Karstarks, he makes all bad things happen to all 3 Karstark sons in back-to-back chapters. And then the same chapter that 2 of them die in, Theon talks about how they capture 3 nephews.
Yeah, 3 nephews. I definitely, and I think I said this last time.
He had to know, right?
He knew, right? He at least knew that Karstark and Bolton, like, he needed 2 guys that would turn on the north.
It just seems crazy that he knew that this early. Like,
I don't think so.
That's Storm of Swords shit. That's like way up. That's like that's literally 1,000 pages.
Dude, the Red Wedding is 2 books away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 3rd book.
It's like almost 2,000 pages. About 2,000 pages from now.
Do you think he had the Red Wedding planned at this point?
The thing is, if he had Karstark and Bolton, then he definitely did.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I like I said last time, he's a fucking crazy person. He is mentally, he has a different gene working for him, or something's going on. He's got more chromosomes or more neurons. Not chromosomes. More neurons are firing in his brain than
Jeff. Just so you know, normally having more chromosomes.
I know you don't. I know. I know what it means. I meant neurons are firing in the brain.
He's got that juice. He's got that juice.
Oh man, that was good, Jeff.
So the only other thing I have besides that is based on what we know about Nymeria later on. I wonder if this was
later on.
Later. I said that was a direwolf pun. Later on.
Oh, yeah, that was lame.
It was
based on what we know about Nymeria. Yeah, based on what we know about Nymeria later on. Were there more than one wolf here? Nymeria rules the Riverlands. We're in the fucking thick of the Riverlands. We're at fucking Riverrun. Are there other wolves here? Is Nymeria here?
Nah.
Oh man, I like to think that she was there.
I mean, we'd never find out. There's no way we'd ever.
I brought it up,
right?
and you like shook it off like, nah, it was just Graywood.
Well, it's because I had it in my spoiler section slides because I don't want to talk about how there's.
I mean, this is around where she got tossed away by Arya, right?
It's not super close, but it's not super far.
Where were they at when that happened?
They're on the King's Road, pretty far.
Yeah, they're
but also at the same time, it's been a long time, and she's a Roman wolf.
It's been a while. It's been a year. Yeah, and we definitely hear about her close to River Run later on, with the Brotherhood without banners and stuff, like in books 4 and 5.
I mean, they like the wolves themselves do have a warg connection.
That's true, and they know where each other are, so it's not crazy to think that Nymeria would go looking.
If George knew in the future that they would have
once Grey One starts going south, Nymeria might be like, "Oh fuck, one of them's coming towards me."
And especially, I mean, and like she would be battle prepped when he howled.
Yeah, he would hear it. Yeah, she would hear it. I mean, it's cool to think about.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
You don't think anybody would have brought up like, wait, what was that other wolf doing here fighting for us?
Well, it's dark.
Yeah, it's nighttime, moonlight, gray. It's just gray. They're both gray, right?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
No, I could see it being in the realm of possibility, but, it's not confirmed, and we're never going to get an answer. Could we ask him? Can you write on his blog real quick?
I'll ask him.
Put it on my list of Reddit things.
All right, so I only have one comment. And it's really a description. Let me know what you guys think this sounds like.
All right. I'm going to close my eyes.
The moonlight had silvered his armor and the gold of his hair, and turned his crimson cloak to black. He was not wearing a helm. He was there, and he was gone again, his silvery armor obscured by the trees once more. Others came behind him. Long columns of them.
Dude,
knights
I
swords.
thought that quote was weird, but I didn't know what it was. You're good. So black cloak, others came behind him, Night's Watch guy, white hair, silver armor, also, right?
Yep.
They said?
Yeah, it silvered his armor and golden hair. Silvered his golden hair.
Is that Bloodraven? Bloodraven used to be
I was thinking more along the lines of
John?
White Walkers?
In a black cloak, though? Bloodraven is an albino.
Cloak, yeah.
In the middle of this battle?
Do albinos have white hair, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why he would have silver armor.
Sometimes blonde people do, too.
Yeah, Bloodraven influence. I was thinking
Bloodraven was the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
Before he was...
But at the same time, it says others, too. So, I don't know if... But the description they give is similar to Bloodraven, but also very similar to a White Walker. They have a white, silver.
So what do you think the impact of
I'm not saying, but
was?
it's just a weird comparison to them. Hey, it shimmers behind, comes in and out of view, just like they were, behind the trees and shit. And it literally says others came behind him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not reading into it.
Oh, I know. It's just a weird. If George tried to imply that.
I mean, did they capitalize the
Dude,
L?
he definitely did. And others is the first word in the sentence. He definitely did that fucking on purpose, dude. There's 100% chance he did that on purpose. That's a great. I thought I wasn't actually thinking about that. I thought you were going to say something different, Glow. I thought the quote where she was talking about the
Bloodraven comparison is something I didn't think of.
Now that I'm reading it, I don't know if it's Bloodraven. I'm gonna have to look at that. That's really interesting. The other thing, the thing that I thought that mattered,
I don't think it matters.
That I couldn't think of what it would be was when she saw the Great John's men. Right, that kind of sounded poetic. Yet when she looked across the valley to the far ridge, she saw the Great John's riders emerge from the darkness beneath the trees. They were in a long line, an endless line. And as they burst from the woods, there was an instant, the smallest part of a heartbeat, when all Catelyn saw was the moonlight on their points of their lances, as if 1,000 will-o-wisps were coming down the ridge. Wreathed in
What's
silver
a
flame.
will-o-wisp?
I assume it's like a firefly.
What's your point there? I think it's just good writing.
Yeah, I think that's just good writing.
I think you're just looking at everything as it has to be something.
It just seemed really poetic or something. I don't know.
I think it's just setting the scene.
I don't know. It's cool. It's cool, weird. The thing that Glow said, that's really cool. I'd never thought about that before. I think there's definitely something to it. I wonder.
I don't.
I think we should. I want to look at that with his dream about him and Brienne beneath Castle Rock. I wonder if there's any similarities between that, or the him with that's the same one where he has the fiery sword, right? Yeah. I wonder if there's any similarities. That's interesting. I don't have anything. If any viewers have anything about the quote that Glo just brought up, let us know. I think there's definitely something there. I just don't know what it is yet. And hopefully when Wind's Winter comes out, we'll know. But that's cool.
Catelyn was fucking other dudes. Ned only has one legitimate child, and that's Arya.
Cat's fucking other dudes. And
It's Arya.
I mean, that's pretty badass if it is.
A will-o-wisp is an atmospheric ghost-like seen by travelers at night, especially over bogs, swamps, or marshes.
It's fog. It's basically
Fog.
fucking mist.
It's a firefly.
and fog.
It's a firefly from a video game, okay? It's like a fucking...
No, it's not.
It's just like a little ball of light.
No, it's not fog. It's more of an eerie light.
It's like a little
thing.
ball of light, right?
Like a little orb of light.
Yeah.
It's fucking mist.
Ghostly.
Alright, signing off.
Alright, boys, good sode. We'll see you on the next chapter for Daenerys 8. Hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave any comments.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye. See you guys.